Hello, this is like the third time I'm making this video. Anyway, I was just thinking earlier about putting stuff down on the internet. You're in a certain mood, a certain mode, and you may feel differently later. And when you put stuff down, it's kind of about as eternal as it can be, but you know, I mean, who knows in terms of the long term. Maybe for some of us, maybe not. And I mean, a thinking man would consider, you know, the way he behaves and the way he changes and what he's left behind. And never before have we as individuals had such a history behind us, you know, digitally. And you know, if you've got something to say, you kind of have to lay your cards down. You have to have skin in the game. And I can understand why people follow the beaten track and sort of keep their heads down, because you have to kind of risk being or being perceived as foolish at times, I guess, in order to convey your message, lay down what you want to lay down. And I mean, for me, it's like it doesn't even fully make sense yet. I mean, but it will eventually. I kind of have to do this privately in this way, but at some point in the future, as I've stated before, I will join it up with the other me, you know. And obviously there's lots of poetry and art and bits and pieces, but sometimes something just feels like it's right to put you know, on this channel. Oh, I was going to say as well, you know, when I wear this hat, I was watching some videos on YouTube the other day. You know what it's like when sometimes you have these moments, you're bored and you don't really want to move, and you end up flicking from one thing to another. And it's not wise, really. You know, we really have to work on being more disciplined. But it does happen. Sometimes you're not really in the mood for anything. And I stumbled across Duma again. I'd watched it before, but I was like, oh yeah, Duma. And I realised I was wearing the same hat as this guy. And I thought about a lot of the content I put down here. I thought, I do have a lot in common with this guy. I can't deny it. But at least I'm still smiling, right? There's one moment where he's driving along, listening to Typo Negative in the car. That could have been me a few weeks ago, you know. I don't want to be me. Well, we all feel like that sometimes, right? But we soon snap out of it, hopefully. And gets me thinking about, I mean, I'm not like a massive Typo Negative fan. I've got just a best of, that's it. But it's something that I realised a little while ago, like, oh, I should have been a fan of this band, because you know, I love Paradise Lost, and really into the whole kind of well, into a lot of genres of metal, but more the serious kind of mainly into the, you know, the death metal, the melodic death metal and the thrash, but like lately it's been that doom, kind of progressive doom thing, and obviously a lot of the kind of Norse stuff, and you know, as I go on, I really, you know, quite the industrial, but in general it does, I do end up listening more to the darker stuff, and when that becomes when people do that really well, when they construct proper songs that have a romantic and emotional element, like obviously Insomnium, and recently I've discovered Draconian. This is really in tune with me in terms of my journey. And Typo Negative is a band that I discovered. I knew they existed, of course, but after hearing the news that Pete Steele had died, I got more curious, and it's like, I should have been a fan of this band, you know. This is listening through the best of, and I found October Rust online, listened to that, and you know, really enjoyed that. And you know, there's something beautiful about that melancholic expression, but it's you know, it's really sad when that becomes everything. You know, you have to realize that this abyssal darkness, you need, if you're going on this spiritual quest, if you like, you're going to need to look into it. And there's this saying that when you look into the abyss, it looks into you, and you have to make sure it doesn't suck you in completely. You have to keep things in balance, you know, and it's a very, very tricky thing. But again, this will all make sense more in the future. This piece of art that you see on the screen now is based on an experience I had many, many moons ago. And this came to mind towards the end of the poem that I'm about to read. Oh, it's raining now. Actually, it's quite fitting that it's raining, talking about doom and gloom. And maybe we can just turn the positivity knob dial up just a little bit, not quite to 11, but maybe around at least 6.